Hello everybody, Lawrence Fleming here. We just had a little bit of noise here in my campsite as the crew had to come in and clean up the camp. I just made a comment on Facebook. It's sort of like being in the market when they're restocking the shelves. It has to be done, but I had to wait. All the weed eaters and the leaf blowers running, very noisy. You can still hear the birds. I can still hear them too. They're chirping around me now. And I'm watching 3 cardinals on a bird feeder. I wish I could get you a picture of it, but every time I try to get close, they fly away. And this is my cell phone while I'm camping. I haven't brought out my good gear yet, so I have to use the lens that's on it. And yeah, I can zoom in, but I have to get close enough first. Beautiful red birds, and there's some other ones on there too. It is springtime, and it's probably the right season that we're looking. We're on a high watch, but I'm beginning to suspect that any day that we guess is a good day is probably not it. People keep asking me, I think that the reason that the rapture is going to happen is we're getting pulled out of here from something that's going to happen big time. We may see it just before it happens. I don't know. Maybe it's a major earthquake. Maybe it's an asteroid. Maybe it's a bomb. I don't know. But why do we need to be snatched away? Maybe it's after Revelation 12 where Satan comes to earth. He's going to be mad when that happens, and he's probably looking for someone to take it out on. Maybe that's us. Well, anyhow, while we're still waiting, I thought we'd get back to some basics. So I'm going to look at 2 Peter this morning. And the 2 Peter chapter 1, the whole first 10 verses are something that you should follow up on. But I'm going to read a commentary on it. It's kind of a summary, so I'll leave the actual reading to you, and I might do it later on. But this commentary here, as Christ's followers, we realize that we will never be like Christ, but we must never stop striving. After all, he calls us to be perfect as he is in Matthew 5:48. You can jot that down and go back and look at it too. For Christ's followers, there must be no attitude of, I'm good enough, I'll just stay right here spiritually. No, we always have to be advancing. Even in times like now where there appears there's nothing to do. Keep advancing. We want to add to our obedience and increase our Christ-centeredness. It starts with faith. We believe God for salvation and all that he teaches in Scripture. Well, if we truly do believe that, keep advancing. Keep reading, keep learning. And then to faith we add virtue, or the habit of acting according to a high moral standard. We want to live righteously because he who saved us is righteous. To our knowledge we add self-control, allowing it to form a wall of protection around us. If we sin, we open the doors to Satan and anything else that could come in. We want God to protect us. He needs to have that shield around us that he provides. To our self-control, we add perseverance, refusing to let difficulty derail us. We've all had tough times. Some of you are having them now. Don't let it distract you. Keep praying for salvation from it, or at least the ability to deal with it. God provides both, and we don't know what he has in mind for us. To our perseverance, we add godliness, seeking to be more like God and less like ourselves. We have to keep growing. This isn't what we're supposed to be. We're not there yet. Now, we'll be transformed when we're with him, but while we're down here, we need to be more like him. Jesus said that greater things than I am doing, you will be able to do. So keep trying to get there. To our godliness we add kindness, which seems so easy, but is really very trying. We don't know who we're going to run into during the day. And it may be that the person that we just met pushed our panic button. And then the next person we meet gets to see what we actually think about it. That's a setup. Hand it off, give it to God, and then go on about your business. And to kindness we add brotherly love, which is our proof that we are Christ followers. And you can find that in John 13:34 and 35. To know we are Christians by our love. All of this happens in the power of God through the Holy Spirit. It equips us to grow deeper, grow wider, and grow in the knowledge of faith and love. These things are easy for seasoned Christians, it seems like. New Christians are trying to figure out how we're doing it. Well, the way we do it, moment by moment. Don't take our eyes off of Jesus, and we don't have to lose sight of what we're trying to get to. Get distracted. Squirrel. There is one. But whatever you find in life to distract you, it's there for a purpose, to take your eyes off of Christ. So don't do that. I'm just going to go ahead and give you a couple of these verses that I mentioned. A new commandment. I say to you, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you. That you also love one another. By this, all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Imagine that somebody can look at you and say, something's different about you. What is it? It's an open invitation. Don't let that go by. But you got to first be that way for them to ask, why are you different? And we're starting to see this, and I'm seeing a lot of this on my comments. You fortunately don't have to see a lot of the comments because I delete or I hide the users, because some of them are abusive, and the worse they are, the more I know I'm doing good. Satan doesn't like it, so he tries to stop me. Take heed that no one deceives you. This is in Matthew 24:4. For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. Of course, there will be one primary one that takes the lead. Of course, this was written years ago, and so we've had many false Christs and false religions. Continuing, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not troubled. Don't be distracted. These things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. We've seen these around the world continually through our own lives. And they're still continuing. But these aren't the big ones. Okay, and then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you, and they've been doing that also for many years, but it's going to get worse again. It seems like anti-Semitism, or at least anti-Israel, is growing. Christians are going to be part of that eventually. There will be many false prophets and will deceive many. And because lawlessness will abound, boy, we're seeing that now, the love of many will grow cold. And they will say, how can this great God of yours allow this to happen? Because he's giving us free will. He won't force us to do anything. If you want to destroy this planet, he's going to let you do it. up to a point. He's going to let the Antichrist do a lot of damage, but there is a limit. Midway through the tribulation, the wrath of God will start. But we're not there yet. But he will deal with each and every one of you. And if we believe that we're going to be raptured at the beginning of the tribulation, we also believe that those of you who are trying to destroy this planet will be dealt with in your time. The tribulation period is only 7 years long. And it's been shortened according to God. If it wasn't shortened, there wouldn't be anybody alive. Well, I don't know if it's shortening in time or shortening in events, but in any case, you've had an easy run of it, but that's going to end. Now's the time to realize that you're never going to win. Satan, you can't win. You're showing us, the whole world, how stupid you actually are. God is more powerful than you. You've never had the strength of God. You've had the world's greatest pride of thinking that you can be better than God. That's just pure foolishness. Why would you turn on your Creator like that? You're coming up on your last chance, but we'll be saved, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's why we won't know the time of the rapture. Not knowing the day or the hour is the second coming. It's not the rapture. It doesn't mention anything about the rapture because we're not supposed to be able to figure it out in any way. Because if we could figure it out, you'd figure it out. Okay. Back to my audience. That was a quick message for the ruler of this world who's running down a dead end and doesn't care, apparently. But we don't have a dead end. We have an escape plan. Wherever you're at, you should have an escape plan. And ours is, it's not here yet, but it's almost. Now, if we're going to stay on our high watch, we've got to get through the middle of May. The anniversary of Israel becoming a nation. We've got our second Passover. There's a number of things that could cause it. Is it tied to a Jewish event? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't have to be. It could be on a day that we don't plan on it. It could be on the day before a significant event or the day after. We're not going to know, but it's got to be soon. Just look at the world. Everything that we're told about the way the world's going to be is either happening right now or the pieces of it are starting to fall into place. Russia's falling into place for the Ezekiel War or the Damascus War, where it's totally annihilated. Our cryptocurrency will give the mark of the beast complete control of our money and us. Every economist will tell you that whoever controls the money controls the people. It's coming. Is it this year? It seems like it. Things are happening very fast. And the enemy knows that with this election coming up, they'd better start something fast. My guess is they're going to do something big, declare martial law, and delay the election. Are you seeing a lot of Democratic ad campaigns? I'm not. Why are they not worried? Why are they not doing anything? Because they already have it planned out. And there's so much money in the world doing this, planning this. We can't stop it, only God can. And God is not going to interfere until midway through the tribulation. So it's going to get bad. But we're not going to be here. But how bad is it? A split second away from doomsday. Why else would we be raptured? We know that of all the people that have been lifted up to heaven, whether it's Jesus or the other historical people, Enoch or Elijah, or we don't really know what happened to Moses, and other people that have just disappeared. They weren't raptured. No, our two witnesses will be raptured because the Antichrist, Satan, is going to be mad at them. When they raise from the dead, he's going to be mad at them and he's going to get rid of them, quote unquote. That's what he's going to tell the world. But Jesus is going to rapture them. But if they watch the evening news, the Antichrist is simply going to say, I got rid of two people that have been destroying the world, causing all these troubles. It's the Christians causing the troubles. And of course the Jews. When he takes over, he's going to run it right for a little while. There will be a false peace that everybody will be happy for. So we're going to have our problems up to that midway point, which the Antichrist is going to blame on the Christians. But the second half, it'll all be God. It'll be God's wrath. And we get to watch. Are we going to be seated in a juice bar, watching it on the big screen in heaven? I don't know. I don't know how we see down here. Obviously God can, but he's omnipresent. I'm curious, anxious to find out. I'm not worried about going there, but my curiosity keeps running around. So God, hurry up and satisfy that so I'll stop thinking about it. Okay, for those of you that have asked for prayers for you or your family, God, you've heard those prayers. We've all seen the messages. We know what they're wanting. Give them what they need, and hopefully that will satisfy what they want. Help them to endure if they can't give it up. If you're not willing to give it a break, give them the endurance. Everything's happening for a reason. If it's hard times, maybe it's to temper. You have to, if you're making a sword or an axe or a knife, you heat it up and then you dip it in cold water to cool it off. That makes it turn real hard. That way you can cut through things and have it not dull the knife. Maybe that's happening to you. I've had it happen in the past. And it works. But you just have to not be worried about it, not be afraid about it. Another squirrel. Sorry, it is a squirrel. Watching me, watching them. They're going to go chase the birds off the bird feeder and have something to eat. Although he's got a anti-squirrel device, I want to see if they get past it. 2 squirrels at the base. I can't get my camera to flip around, so I just have to tell you about it. Maybe I can keep watching and figure out a way to film it. I could go back and get my GoPro, I guess. All right. I'm having fun in this calm, serene atmosphere. I've got another few days here. Thursday I'll be moving to another site. Maybe I can take you fishing at one of the other sites. I got to do that this week. I got to renew my fishing license and grab my tackle, because the next 2 places that I plan on going to have fishing lakes. And they'd be roughly the same tackle. And then I'll cook one up for you. How's that? Or you can watch anyway. I'll eat it. All right. Be calm. Be vigilant. We're still in a high watch period. We're going to be in a high watch period as long as things continue to get worse. Even if there's no holiday, even if there's no event. The pink moon, the red moon, whatever, even if they don't happen anywhere near when the rapture is going to happen, it's going to happen soon because the world is going down. It hasn't made any improvements. It's getting worse. So we are on a short fuse, if you will. Just keep the hope up, keep smiling, and share that with others. If somebody hasn't come up to you and say, how come you're so happy? Then you need to work on that. Okay, until we meet in the skies, God bless.